Okie dokie, I believe we are all the way live. Hello and welcome to my graveyard. I am your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names and kicking candy ass. Live in the color here with you on Grande's Graveyard. Welcome back to another edition of the show. And tonight, it's not just any ordinary show. No, it is yet another one of John Grande's world famous live fan commentaries. That's right, ladies and gents. It's been a while since I've done a fan commentary. I actually, off the top of my head, do not remember the last fan commentary I did, but I sat back and I was like, I haven't really done too many modern films when it comes to live fan commentaries. I believe I've done Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. I've done movies like House on the Edge of the Park. Very heavy on the 80s. I mean, that's a great decade for horror films. But I was like, I want to get a newer one on there. And this movie actually in a couple of days is going to be celebrating its 7th anniversary. So I decided, I was like, let me put two movies up against each other, The Woman and, of course, this one that won. And it is none other than from the film from 2014 is when it was released in festivals. However, it was released in March of 2015 in theaters. That's when I saw it. This is David Robert Mitchell's It Follows. Yes, It Follows. We're going to be doing a live fan commentary watch along here tonight. I'm super excited for this. This is one of my favorite, probably my favorite horror movie of last decade. I mean, I love this movie. We're going to get into it. We're going to go very deep into It Follows and my love for it. But first off, let's check out the chat. Miss Carter's in the hazy. Hey, Grande and everyone in the chat. Miss C, what's shaking with you tonight? Hope all is well. I probably won't talk as much as usual. I'm putting some things away. But I'll be listening. I know it'll be a great show. Thank you so much for your vote of confidence. I appreciate that, and I hope all is well with you. Aiden Vavers in the Heezy. Hello, everybody, and I definitely love this film. The director said he was heavily inspired by Romero, and John Carpenter definitely shows in the latter. Yes, John Carpenter influence on this movie is all over the place. This, some Dean Cundy cinematography, the classic Carpenter-esque scope. I mean, I really like this movie. I'm excited to get into it. Welcome, Aiden. Also, that score, dude, Disaster Piece doing an absolute bang-up job with the score. I'm really excited to talk about them. Matteo Appendino is in the hazy. Ciao, grande. Mr. Matteo, what's going on, man? Welcome to my graveyard. Hope all is well with you tonight, man. Trenchy. Hey, what's up, man? Dude, what's going on with you? Hope all is well with you tonight. But everybody, I am super excited for this. Of course, this was funny. Now, if you're one of those people that, Grande, I would watch along with you, but I don't own the film or I don't have a streaming service that this movie's on. I believe it's on Netflix. This is pretty funny. I am pretty sure this has never been used. This is the ultraviolet HD code for It Follows right here. If anybody wants this, you can, it's going to be hard to read, but yeah, no, if anybody wants this, now is the time to leap. Only one can activate it, but I don't know if anybody wants this code to watch along with me tonight, a little ultraviolet code. I thought it was funny because, now the camera's got to focus again. Focus. Oh no, why is it not refocusing? Oh no, this is bad. Why am I all blurry? Oh no, wait, here, let's go back. And does that fix it? No, I'm blurry still. Oh my goodness. Hold on, let me do. Why am I still blurry? Oh no. I fucked up the camera trying to show the UV code. All right, we'll fix it. Let's see. Slasher Fred's in a heezy. Slasher Fred, what's going on, good brother? The poster kind of looks like an 80s horror movie poster. Yes, and cool enough. I've seen fans do edits of this, like fan posters. There's a really cool one. It's almost like a drawing version. That's the best poster that they have of this movie. It's insane, man. I absolutely love it. Dude, I'm wearing the same exact Nightmare on Elm Street shirt as you. No way. Really? Dude, here, let me fix this camera. Hold on. I'm going to just stop the camera and restart it because I fucked up the focus. That didn't work. Oh, man. I feel trying to fix this here. Come on. What? Jesus, focus is all messed up. I don't know. Anybody know how to fix this? I'm all blurry. This is no good. The screen print. Yo, the screen is like, what the fuck, Ronnie? Why'd you cut your hair off, bro? Geez, I don't know. I feel like this is so stupid. I can't fix the camera now. Geez, me and my ultraviolet coach trying to be nice guy out here. That Nightmare on Elm Street shirt is badass. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. No, I don't know what to do. Should I leave the studio and come right back? Would that work, do you think? Maybe if I unplugged and replugged? I'm going to try to unplug and replug. Hold on. Yeah, I am too blurry. Here, wait a minute. I'm going to try this. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Hold on. How are we looking now? I think we're in high definition, motherfuckers. Yeah, no, I don't know what. I showed this goddamn ultraviolet code, and all of a sudden the camera just fucking had a fucking brain aneurysm or something, man. I have no idea. It was just like, what the fuck, Rondé? What are you doing? But you know, I was just like trying to be nice. I don't know, but for real, I'm not going to show it up again. If anybody wants this ultraviolet code, I will read off the fucking letters to you. Anybody wants it, because it's 7 years old. This ultraviolet code. I don't know if they expire, but I have one for free here. I'm looking good, man. All right, thank you. I took the mop off. I don't know, but I felt it was time. But if I'll put a curse on your camera now, yeah, no, I gotta pass it on. This camera has to fuck somebody else. You good? Yeah, no, I don't know, Trench. I have no idea, good brother. Trench, while you're here, I was going to email you after the show, not next week, but the week after. Would you want to come on for Pet Cemetery? I know we've been in the process of this, but I feel we're live. You're here right now instead of an email, which is so like professional business wise. I'm thinking having you on for Pet Cemetery, not this next Thursday, but the following Thursday. So let's see what date that would be. I think it would be the 17th, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I'm trying to click up the calendar here. Okay, yeah, the 17th. Trench, if you want to come on the graveyard for the 17th to do all things Pet Cemetery, your favorite horror film, let me know, because that would be a perfect date for me if you want to come on the show. But no pressure, obviously. And if you don't want to answer right now, no worries. You could always email me later. I just figure I have you in the chat. And I was thinking in the back of my head all day, I was like, I got to email Trench. But seeing your name, it made me kind of, remember now. So, let me know on that. But, all right, everybody, I've got this in the old Blu-ray player. It Follows, baby. We're getting ready to watch. I don't know if everybody's going to watch along with me, but this is going to be super fun. This is like my favorite horror movie the last 10 years. So I'm super excited. You can actually see me now, so that's good. And I guess we're going to hit play. So I'll do a little countdown. I've got the 4K DVD LGB whatever remote here. We got the LG remote here, and I'm going to be hitting play in 3, 2, 1. Just press play. Yes, bring on Trenchy. I hope it works out for Trenchy. Totally. Sure, I'm down. We're doing all the movies or just one. Just please remind me closer to the date. I have a bad memory. Dude, I figured we'd do a retrospective, all 3, since it's not too many. We do the original is your favorite. I definitely want to cover part 2. If you want to skip the remake, I guess we could, because I actually haven't seen that remake. But that's up to you. That's up to you. I definitely want to do the first 2, though. I think that'd be a fun discussion. Next week, planning on doing a whole Creep Show retrospective. But, that's going to be a lot of show prep, because there's a lot of Creep Show to be watched in just 1 week. So I don't know. I'm going to try my best. If not, I have some shows in the can that I have backed up. So, we'll figure that out as we go along. But if you want to come on for the 17th Trench, let me know, brother. We have our opening little like promotional credits here. And this is, I think, one of the first things this film does smart. It's funny, right off the bat, they don't give like actors' names as the credits. It's just, this is a film by David Robert Mitchell. And right off the bat, you can see wide angle lenses, which is something you're going to see a lot in this movie. This movie loves to use wide angle lenses. And the reason for that is to make this thing feel like its scope is just so big. And that the it factor that is coming after you, the it monster, if you will, can be anywhere. And to me, this is how you hook a great horror intro. Just this great wide angle lens shot of this woman in the street, terrified. And I'll lower it a little bit because my subwoofer, I can already tell my subwoofer is going to love this disaster piece score. But this is, to me, fantastic hook for any good horror movie. Right off the bat, I'm intense. I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? This is really good stuff. How is the Creepshow TV show? I've watched the first 2 seasons. I would say better. I would say more good than bad for me. There's a few bad ones, but if I do the whole retrospective, I'm going to do it all. So I'm going to do all 3 movies. I'm going to do the TV show. That's the plan. But it's so much to watch in 1 week. So that's really, it's tough. That's why I put it off for so long. If I just did the movies, it would be possible. But I want to throw the TV show in there too. So we'll see. Let me skip the remake. Haha, I don't want to put you through it. And yeah, okay. So we can skip the remake. Absolutely. We could do 1 and 2 for sure. Thanks, dude. Anytime, you are more than welcome, man. This is a long time coming, and I know you were taking a break for a little while, so I was like, you know what? When Shrinty comes back, I definitely want to have him on. So, I'm happy you can come on and join me. If here you can hear the Disaster Piece score, just excellent as it's just building the tension, man. Really, really good stuff. I like this. David Robert Mitchell does a really good job. And it's funny. He mentions Carpenter and Romero a lot when it came to be the inspiration for this particular film. I see a lot of Tobe Hooper in this when it comes to like lenses and shots and also, of course, Dean Cundey. I mean, I feel like Dean Cundey was a cinematographer, even though I know he wasn't. It just has that Cundey scope, that classic Cundey scope of films of the 1970s going into the 1980s that John Carpenter directed. I love this too, as she's saying goodbye to her parents on the phone, and where are you? Where are you? I just want you to know that I loved you. All this stuff, making you be like, what is going on, man? What is going to happen to this girl? We haven't seen anything. But I think this is a good way to establish the antagonist of your film, even though I haven't seen him yet. It's all of these colors that are being used that really just sort of drive the point home. Creepshow, huge project, absolutely. Oh, man, we got the dead body, broken leg thumbnail. Oh, my God, that bitch got mangled. See, that's a good example of an off-screen kill. That's a very good off-screen kill, in my opinion, because that thing... Holy shit, she got mutilated, and you know it. Grande is going to rant on Creepshow 3 again. LMAO, good luck, man. Oh, shit. Man, that would be bad. That would be bad. I don't know. That would be very NC-17. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie will always be the 3rd Creepshow film. I wish. I really wish it was officially. AJ Zeecher's in the house. Hey, man, want to check this movie out? Still haven't yet. AJ, do you have Ultraviolet? Because I have the Ultraviolet code here. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put the Ultraviolet code in the chat right now. I'm gonna give this out. If anybody wants to take this, you can, because this is like a 7-year-old Ultraviolet code. Here, I'm doing it. I'm putting it in here, so it's fair game. Anybody, first come, first serve. Whoever can get it first can watch this movie for free for the rest of their damn life if they want to. All right. That is the Ultraviolet code. I've just thrown it up in the chat. Anybody wants to watch along with me tonight with that code, feel free, because I don't ever use codes. Here we see Micah Monroe swimming in the pool. And it's I think the pool and that kind of chlorine color, it sort of is very prevalent and consistent throughout this film. Of course, the finale is in a big pool, which always reminded me of David Cronenberg's Shivers, even the first time I saw it. But I think this whole film has like this kind of chlorine filter on it, and it's just incredible to watch. It's a pretty film. Good point on Tobe Hooper. It's an odd in a good way, like all his films. Yeah, no, like story wise, I don't see it. Like it's definitely not a movie that Tobe Hooper would do. But from a direction standpoint and a technical standpoint, I see a lot of Hooper and Carpenter here. From a story standpoint, I definitely see a lot of Carpenter Romero. I think story standpoint, definitely more so influenced by them. But technical wise, I see a lot of Hooper in this, man. He has a lot of fun playing with the camera and these wide angle lenses, like I said. It just really makes this thing feel even grander than it is. The Master of Fear is here. What's going on, good brother Devin? Hope all is well with you tonight. David Gordon Green, off-screen kills are better. Well, when you do them like David Robert Mitchell does, hell yeah. When you do them like David Gordon Green, hell no, brother. Hey, AJ. Hey, Kara. There's my Ultraviolet code. Love this movie. You love Creepshow 3, right? Yes, of course I do. That's one of my faves. Here you see these kids watching television here. It's an old school, like big box television and watching a film in black and white. Interesting thing here is, what era does this film take place in? Because we have an old school TV, black and white, but also we have this girl on her little clamshell phone. And in the opening scene, we had a girl calling from a smartphone, calling her parents saying goodbye. So it's a very big debate. When does this movie take place? And I personally think that David Robert Mitchell was going for a dreamsicle sort of world here. And we can even see the mother in the background. Notice we never see the mother's face. We never see any of the parents' faces in this film. Why is that? I have sort of a theory. So there was a little show back in the day called Ed, Edd n Eddy. I don't know if people remember that show. People my age will. But Ed, Edd n Eddy was this fantastic show about these three idiots, all named Ed. And they would try to scheme people for jawbreakers. They always wanted money to buy candy, these giant jawbreakers. And in that show, the parents were never shown. We always saw their bodies, but we never saw their faces. The kids, they lived in the cul-de-sac. And I sort of look at this movie similar to that. This is like these kids live in the cul-de-sac. There's no adults here. There's nobody who's going to help you from a higher authority. And that right off the bat to me enters you into so much more danger that is possible. We hear parents, we know they're there, but they're not going to help. And you know, whether he did this knowingly or not, I think that's another thing David Robert Mitchell did right. It was creating sort of a dreamsicle parallel world that we're sort of just thrown into here in the opening 10 minutes. Ryan Larkin's in the Heezy. Hi. What's going on, good brother? Hope all is well with you tonight, Mr. Ryan. I haven't seen your name in a while. I hope all is well with you, Ryan. This film will always remain timeless because it is dreamlike all of Lynch's films. Yeah, no, as we see Micah Monroe here looking in the mirror, beautiful girl or woman. I don't want to offend anybody. I know girl is somewhat, I don't know. It's not as acceptable as it used to be. Woman, all right. Pretty woman. She's a pretty woman. Now, here we have her going on the date with this guy, going to this movie theater. Interesting thing about this movie theater. This film was shot in Michigan to avoid, taxes and stuff like that. I believe it was shot for around $1.3 million. This movie theater is very significant in the history of the horror genre. In 1981, I believe, a little film by the name of Evil Dead was premiered at this very theater that they are going to see this movie in here right now. So it's very cool to see a slice of horror history from the past, right? A movie like Evil Dead, which a couple of weeks we talked about and brought that up on the 1981 rankings list, a film that I think revolutionized the horror genre. And then here we go all these years later in this horror film, they're in the same theater that movie was released in. And in my opinion, It Follows is like the Evil Dead of my generation. And I know a lot of people will get offended by that, but hear me out. I just think this is the movie that the genre needed at the time. I'll never forget, actually, funny enough, talking about going to see movies in the theater. I saw this. This was the very first R-rated movie I saw that I was of age to see. I know. This, of course, so 17, I turned 17 in December of 2014. This was March of 2015. So this was the first R-rated movie I saw that I didn't have to sneak into or go with my parents with. So it's pretty funny. This movie is like sentimental that this was the first time I didn't have to lie or have my mommy or daddy hold my fucking hand walking into the theater. Very kind of surreal. I went with my friends, and I remember we had just a great night seeing this movie in the cinema with a bunch of people. Just a great theater experience for me. You pulling out Ed, Edd n Eddy. Yeah, no. Your commentary is my personal opinion 10 times better than the film. I'm not a fan of It Follows, but I'm enjoying the commentary. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, to me, I love doing fan commentaries, and it's tough. I'll be honest. This is one of the most challenging shows you can do, and people probably be like, huh? Like, you're sitting watching a movie explaining what's on the screen, but it's so much more than that because you've really got to know the film inside and out. You've got to be entertaining. You've got to be talking the entire time. This is not an easy thing to do, live fan commentary, especially live. It's easy to pre-record a fan commentary, but doing it live, man, it can be slightly challenging. But I don't know. I love it. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you, man. Paul is low-key my favorite character in this film. I relate to him quite a bit. Really? Okay, very interesting pick here. As our couple are walking out of the theater now because he feels he's being watched. They're playing this game of, guess who I'm thinking of? Guess who I picked? And we don't see the person, so he freaks him out. We haven't been established the rules yet, but that is coming soon. Micah Monroe is a beautiful woman and a great actress. I'm shocked she hasn't been in more things, but It Follows and The Guest are quite good films she appeared in. I feel like she'll be one of those people that years from now is doing conventions, like 20 years down the road, and people like us will be like, hey, I remember when I was 17, I saw It Follows in the theater with my friends. And I definitely think she'll be one of those people at conventions, and good for her. I mean, The Guest is a big cult film. This is, I think, the best film she's ever been in. Cool enough she got to be the lead. But there was a scene there that I wanted to touch on really quick that I didn't mention because I was going off on something else. The scene where they're in the movie theater and, okay, guess who I picked? They're picking people. The character of Paul, he picks oh no, I'm sorry, not Paul, the guy she's going on a date with. He picks this little kid, and she goes, why'd you pick him? And he goes, because he has his whole life in front of him. And you get the sense that he has regrets in his life, and he has made some mistakes, and we don't know to the extent of what mistakes he's made yet, but I think right then and there that gives even a side character so much more depth to them. That's just my humble opinion. King Igor, Big Poppy, Big Poppy. What's going on, good brother Corey? Have a whole all's well with you tonight, man. We were talking at work today, man. Having all sorts of fun conversations. See, every time me and Corey talk, it's always a very fun, entertaining time. I wish our conversations could be heard for the world sometimes, but I mean, summertime slashing, and when I have Corey on the graveyard, that's always a beautiful thing. Did we already address the weird retro-futuristic technology in this movie? Yes, we did. We discussed the dreamsicle weirdness that this movie has. I related a little bit to Ed, Edd and Eddy and the cul-de-sac, because we never see parent figures in this, and we don't know when this takes place because there's old school big box televisions in black and white, but there's also that girl on her clamshell cell phone. Very odd, but I think that's a big point of this. Again, another wide angle lens shot here of the suburban area, this cul-de-sac, as I'm going to call it. I had a water here. Let me grab my water, because commentaries we got to stay fresh on here. We got to make sure the old pipes are working good. Oh, so cheers to everybody, by the way. I like this sort of video game-esque score, too, by Disaster Piece. I believe the director had played the video game Fez from 2012, and he loved the score and the soundtrack in it. And when he decided to make this film, he reached out. He said, hey, I'm making this horror movie. I was wondering if you'd want to do the score. And he came out and just, I think, gave one of the great horror scores of all time. I know people will probably, all time? Yeah, honestly, yes. When's the last horror movie before this that you could seriously tell me has a great score from beginning to end? I'll let you think about it, because there's not too many. I'm sure there's one, I'm sure there's two, but there's not too many is my point. And I think that this movie really drove home that old school feel with its score. It feels like that classic Carpenter scores of yesteryear. Of course, our lead couple are having sex in the car right now. Of course, the poster here of this, which, I mean, awesome stuff. Why not? Trenchy, my day one babe. Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll make a podcast someday. I'm currently budgeting to jump to 4K. Oh, man, really? We're jumping to 4K? Bro, that is pretty awesome, man. Man, we were talking all things at work today, man. Corey's cracking me up towards the end of the day. Always a pleasure to talk to you, Corey. I think this is a really cool shot, too, like these two having sex in the Camaro. And I believe it was her first time. It popped a cherry, baby. Which, what a shitty time to when you know what he just gave to her. I mean, you're like, oh shit, like she got a little bit more than she bargained for. But I mean, shit happens, right? I don't know. I wonder in some, alternate universe if they show this in like sex ed classes to like scare kids from having sex at a young age. It's funny. I remember they used to show like these old school ones in class and stuff, and they were just so bad you couldn't take them seriously. But there was a little film I saw young called Palindromes. That movie should be shown in sex ed classes. I don't have to go into it. That's a fucked up movie, and that's a movie that will scare any youth into having any premarital sex that there could be, man. That is a fucking disturbing film. I like this little monologue Micah Monroe here has, because she's talking about finding the perfect one, and she believes that this guy is her perfect one. And of course, I think it's interesting. She's grabbing for this little flower. Of course, she just had her flower taken from her, for lack of a better word. But I definitely think that's symbolic. I definitely think that's there on purpose. And of course, now she's about to get her ass chloroformed, and we're about to get things underway. See, this movie doesn't really waste much time. It gets underway pretty soon. Micah's getting chloroformed right now. And in a lot of other horror films, of course, we're thinking, oh, this guy's a psychopath, right? How many times have we seen the masculine man chloroform or knock out the woman to take advantage of her? We've seen that a bunch. But here, it's done differently. It's done here to protect her. Pretty interesting. It won't work on me. Oh, shit. Okay. This movie gets so much unnecessary hate, such a simple premise depicted very effectively. Definitely a millennial horror. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I know this. It's funny. This film is very love or hate. I know so many people that will tell me this is a piece of shit. I know John Steele. I don't know if John Steele's here tonight, but he was telling me, he was like, I hate that movie. He went on and on. I was like, oh man, that's a shame. But to each his own. I totally understand how people wouldn't like this. But for me, this came out right at the right time, because we had been in the Paranormal Activity phase, right, in 2007, all the way to this movie, 8 years after that. And when I saw this in the theater, I was like, oh my God, I really champion this film. I remember going to school, telling people about it. You got to see It Follows, blah, blah, blah. But it seemed to get a lot of hate, and it wasn't a movie that garnered the I think, everyday audience as much as it did the critical audience. Critical audiences really put this over. Everyday audience seemed to be very hit or miss. So, I mean, it's interesting to look at. But in my opinion, this is the best horror movie of the past 10 years. I would say since the start of the new millennium, this has got to be in the top 3. Like, it's high tension. This, maybe the original Saw. There's a lot of really good horror movies from 2000 to now. But this one is the standout for me. Of course, The Lodge. I thought The Lodge was a tremendous film. And, there's few that I put on the level of It Follows. But to me, it's a great film. I don't know what this barn was, but they showed the woman giving birth in a high school. I turned to my girlfriend and said, hell no, bitch. I ain't ever have. Oh, my God. Wow. That's pretty traumatic sounding. Yup, John hates most millennial horror. That man has good taste, though. Yes, he does. He does have good taste. That's true. We've talked about a lot of films, John and I. Because they're old, and most old people hate new. Oh wow, okay. I didn't think you could go that far with it, but okay. Here we have the guy explaining the rules of this horror movie, and I like that. That's again harking back to John Carpenter. The evil out there or the evil around the campfire, the evil within us. And John Carpenter always discussed that was the two types of horror he wanted to convey to us as an audience. It's either the evil out there or the evil within. And It Follows is about the evil out there. But it's caused by the evil that was just passed along to her. Very cool, I think. He's giving her the rules. It's going to follow you. It's slow, but it's not dumb, and all of these things. And again, wide angle shot of her sitting in the chair, tied to the chair. Really good, I think. Have you watched Processor yet? If so, what did you think? That was Cronenberg's son's film, I believe. And I remember it being very good. I watched it right when it came out. It's been a long time. I definitely do for a rewatch on that one. But I remember it being very good. I said what I think. Hey, man, you got to say what you feel, right? That is what it is. Here we see our first incarnation of It walking towards Micah Monroe. Good portrayal of fear. And of course, we got a lot of naked bodies in this. Yets! AJ, where are you? Yets! Is he watching this? Did he download the ultraviolet code? The ultraviolet code's in the chat for free. Anybody wants it. I feel like nobody's going to take it. It's going to be still valid. You can't give these things away, kids, right? And he's now explaining that if it kills her, it will come after him. So, and it can go straight down the line to whoever started it. And I think that was a really cool idea and concept, like a sexually transmitted monster movie. Very interesting, very creative. And it's funny because I don't know, it's has elements of body horror, but I wouldn't say this is straight up body horror. It has elements though, that Cronenberg, body horror. I think it has good elements, but I don't like the idea of an actual killer STD personally. But glad people like the film and don't think it's horrible. Just don't like the premise. That's totally cool. I think there are a lot of people that are going to see this movie and be like, that was stupid. But it seems like you looked into with an open mind and just said, hey, this premise isn't for me, which is totally, I think, fair. AJ, what's this now? Yits? Yeah, man, there's some plenty of yits in this movie. I mean, granted, not the greatest of yits, but yits nonetheless. There's also male nudity in this, AJ, which I know I know is going to tickle you. Here we have our kids on the porch playing Old Maid, which, Jesus Christ, did anybody ever play Old Maid in here? I used to love card games like that. Like, me and my grandmother used to play those all the fucking time. And like we would fuck with the cards, so the cards would look all crazy. And I'd be like, all right, pick one, and pick one. It was fun. I don't know if anybody here in the chat's played Exploding Kittens. That's another really fun game, another fun card game that I just adore. I love Exploding Kittens. It's a lot of fun. It's similar to Old Maid. It's like, to me, it's like our generation's Old Maid. Not It the Clown. No, not It the Clown. Although I like this a lot better than the remake of It, or Stephen King's Shit, as I would call it. Trench, if instead of calling STD, what if we called it an alien parasite? Oh boy. Yeah, I don't feel like the movie. I don't like the movie, but I get why many people like it. Yeah. And it's funny, even though I champion this movie and I put it over like crazy, I can get why somebody wouldn't like this movie. I totally get it. And I will say this, probably my only gripe with the film, it has to be, the only gripe I have with this film is the characters. They're not really good characters. That's the only, they're very flat, monotone characters. That's the only knock I have on this film. Like, other than that, perfect. I remember I watched this, I rewatched this, like, for the second or third time, and I was obsessed with it. And, I was with people watching it, and one of them said, what were any of their names? And I was like, that's kind of true. I don't know any of their names off the top of my head. Like, that's not a bad point. And they have something to that. The characters are very one-dimensional in this. I mean, we could be honest about that. But that's not to say that, are the characters all that much in the original Friday the 13th? Are the characters all that much in the original Halloween? Like, how many, aside from Loomis and Michael Myers, how many in-depth characters are there in that movie? Evil Dead, are there really any more one-dimensional characters in the original Evil Dead, as great as that movie is? Not really. We get to learn more about Ash in the sequels, but in the first film, Ash is sort of just the straight-laced one. It's funny, one-dimensional horror characters, it happens a lot, but I don't think that necessarily takes this movie down at all, because all of those movies I mentioned, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Evil Dead, those are classics. I think It Follows should be a classic too. But I will say that's my only gripe with this film. It is the characters are a little flat. Some parasites transmit from insect to insect and sort of hijack the bug's brain. Oh, all right, man. Corey, sounds like you're coming up with an It Follows too. Same, this is way better than it. Yeah, no, definitely. The remake of It just did nothing for me personally. I don't know, just that the guy Skarsgård, I think it was, he just wasn't. You just can't top Tim Curry. It's just like trying to replace Robert Englund. You can't do it, man. It's just that guy was it, and that was. I mean, he tried, and the film got love. I mean, people loved that It remake. I just personally was like, on it. I don't know, just not my cup of tea. Get another wide angle. You'll see this movie uses wide angle lenses to the point where you're like, holy shit. Like, did they have anything else planned or going on or anything like that? I don't know. But again, that chlorine filter you can see used in the film, that sort of greenish blue, like aqua-like. I call it the chlorine filter. I think this whole movie has this nice, like, chlorine clean pool look to it. And pools are very prevalent in this movie. Of course, the finale, the opening scene where we meet Micah, Monroe, a lot of pools are shown in this film, and I think to great effect. Characters are most of the time bad in horror films. Exactly. That's why, like, I can acknowledge the gripe, but I don't think it doesn't. I don't watch this and go, oh, here we go with these characters. They're not annoying either. I'd rather you be one-dimensional than annoying, because annoying, it's going to be taking away from the film. That's just my humble opinion. Of course, we can see in the background some cartoons, some 80s cartoons playing on the television, some family photos here. And so, of course, here's some body horror, right? She's looking at herself in the mirror, and she's like looking down, like almost in shame, right? Although, let me tell you something, baby, you shouldn't be ashamed, Michael Monroe, that body, daddy. They do a fun little jump scare here too, where this ball is going to hit the window. Which the first time I saw it, I actually did sort of jump. I was like, what the fuck? Like, see, proof that jump scares, people will bitch about them. I love jump scares, man. Oh, jump scare. See, I don't know. It made me jump when I first saw it. I don't know. I still wish the woman would have won way better, in my opinion, with a deep message to it. I still wish the woman won. Oh, the woman. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the woman in this movie. The woman in the movie. I love that movie, man. And maybe down the road, man. Like, that's the beauty of fan commentaries. Like, I could do whatever fucking movie I want in the collection. I like to shake it up. I like to do like 4 to 5 episodes, then a commentary. Because to me, it's like it keeps things fresh. Because if it's every fucking week of me talking about movies I watched, it can grow a little monotonous. Here's me watching one with you, explaining what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling, some of the backstory. It's just a different dynamic. It's a little bit different. I like to think it cleanses the palate. It follows to revolve around YouTube. The only way to pass it on is to tag somebody. Yo, that is a fantastic idea, buddy. Is Angela Bettis the woman? Of course, Angela Bettis the woman. She is one of my... Is she my all-time favorite actress? She's got to be up there. It's Bette Davis, Angela Bettis, Pamela Springsteen. That's the 3 greatest actresses that ever fucking did it, man. Here we have Micah Monroe in the classroom. Similar vein to, of course, Carpenter's Halloween, looking out the window right next to the window seat. I really like this scene. I think this is a great visual and use of an homage to a different film. She's looking out the window and she sees it coming for her. Very cool stuff. And of course, Robert Mitchell, he uses this 360 pan here where we see the entire classroom out the window and we go back again. He does that again later in the film when they go to inquire about something. But I really like that use of the 360 and then the slow zooms, Jess Franco-like. Very cool stuff. Yeah, I get that. The 80s is overrated most of the time. I don't know about that. Bettis beats Battlestar Galactica. Dude, I love Angela Bettis. All right. Angela Bettis, one of my favorite. Her portrayal in May, I think, is like one of the best performances of all time. I also really, really love her in the Carrie remake. I think she's fantastic. I think she was born to play Carrie. Like, that was the part. The Office reference. I really don't watch The Office. That's never been a show that I got super into. I don't know. And here we watch her leaving the classroom. The disaster piece music slowly but surely playing. And I like how they do this too, because she's the only one that can see it. And it's this old woman. And also I think it was interesting here to use this old woman as the monster. As she's going to say hello and these girls are like, what the hell, who are you talking to, I think it was smart to use this old woman because it's a perfect ideology and psychology as to behind what evil stems from. Evil can be anything we perceive it to be. To some people, they might find this old woman horrifying. This old woman in this hospital gown with a brace on her ankle. You could find this horrifying. But later on in the film, we see this 7-foot tall guy. We see a child. We see a little girl. We see evil is anything it wants to be in this movie. It could be anybody. And I think that really sets this movie apart too, because if they had just gone with one thing, if it doesn't look iconic, if it doesn't look sinister, if it doesn't look intimidating or threatening, it can fall off. This movie, it just sort of opens you up to it can be anybody. It could be anybody or anything. And that means that the gloves are off. Really smart psychology there, in my opinion. The Office, I'm not a big fan either. I don't hate it, but I'm just not a big fan. I think what happened is, it's so popular that it's like one of those shows where everyone's like, yo, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. I'm like, fuck, like, all right. It's one of those, it's overhyped so much. It's not bad. It's just yelled in my face so much. She was born to play Carrie. Absolutely born to play Carrie. Like, Sissy Spacek was great. Angela Bettis was just as great, if not better. The Office has some moments, too many stars in it not to be good still. But yes, I like the UK version quite a bit more. That I've watched all of them. There's not too many, but I like that way more. Yeah, May is great, and she did do good carry as well. Yes, I agree with that. Dusty Rhodes always finds a way into my videos in one way or another. Baby, let me tell you something tonight. If followed, if you will, Daddy, let me tell you something. If you don't wear a condom, if you will, Cody, you gonna be getting chased by a monster. I don't know. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, is just one of my favorite people of all time. May he rest in peace. I would like to know, somewhere that maybe if the American Dream is watching, that he appreciates my impersonation of him, because I love it. I think it's just the most fun person to do. It's just always fun. The Office is overrated. Yeah, it is. I sort of agree with that. Although people won't like me for saying that. Now, interesting thing. We do see that her sister's name is Kelly. Her lead character's name is Jay. That is actually a nod to Jamie Lee Curtis and her real-life sister, Kelly Curtis. Jay, Kelly, the Curtis sisters. Of course, again, another nod to old school Carpenter film. But that one's very beneath the surface. I mean, you really got to be looking for that. And also know that JLC's sister, his name is Kelly Curtis. I know that, so I know that's definitely there on purpose. I've never read that or heard that anywhere, but I'm like 100% sure that's got to be the case. I'll explain my full thoughts on The Office one day and why I hate it. Okay, very cool, man. Here we have the sleepover preparing here. They're like, we got your back. We're going to be watching you. No worries, all this stuff. There's nowhere to run, though. There's nowhere to run. And that's why it's a really good slow build. As Keir Gilchrist, I always fuck up his name, Keir Gilchrist, he's watching this old school, like 50s bug monster movie on the television, which, again, it's funny. Like, it's all the modern technology thrown in with the old school movies. Just like, what the fuck? When does this take place? I'm sure there have been analysis videos of when does this movie take place? Don't overanalyze. Just enjoy the film for what it is. That's like my advice to those people. Although I know people get, obsessed about those things. It looks like Mama drank some wine. Holy shit. They should have a nice little wine bottle by Mama. Holy shit. Mama needed some wine to go to sleep, man. I don't know. Y'all got fucking, unless you have problems sleeping, I don't think wine, I don't know. Does wine help people sleep? I would guess it does. Great. I don't know. I never drank wine before. Micah can't sleep, Daddy. Let me tell you something. She can't sleep. She wants to sit on the couch with Kid Gears, Chris, if you will, Cody. Never watched The Office at the same time. At the same with Parks and Rec and some other really big sitcoms. Oh, wow. Wow, you've avoided all of them, man. That's interesting. What sitcoms do you like? That's very interesting. You avoided all those, especially in our day and age, man, because those are really Parks and Rec. I actually never watched either. It's funny you say that. That's why it's like interesting to see somebody else who hasn't seen it. We have a little bit of sexual tension here between these two. He's had a crush on her since they're kids and all this stuff. It's funny. He's sort of the classic, like, zero hero type. Like, you're like, how could this guy ever land Micah Monroe? But they've known each other since kids. So it's one of those things where they know each other a long time. So that's how it's sort of believable, but it's still awkward a little bit. We've all been there, at least I think, where it's like, you have a crush on somebody from when you're, you know each other from a young age, and it's just like, oh my God, now we're both adults and it's awkward because I still like you, all this stuff. Like, they do a good job at telling that story here. I think it's pretty well done. Also behind them, old school lamps, like that lamp, nobody has that lamp anymore. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, very cool stuff to me. I actually would like to know what movie they're watching on the TV. Usually I'm able to like point out stuff like that very well, but I actually don't know it looks like they're watching maybe more of a sci-fi movie. UFO, like with some alien action going on. I'm not sure. But I think these two had decent enough chemistry. Granted, not the best chemistry in the world, but I mean, it's watchable. You can't not like The Office. It doesn't mean it's bad. You can not like The Office. It doesn't mean it's bad, though. I agree. Yeah, no, I don't think it's bad either. Like, I've watched it. I just don't like go crazy over it. There are some people that are like, they religiously follow it, man. I'm just like, I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't know, man. Not my cup of tea, personally. I don't know. Anybody ever watch Community? No, I've never even heard of it, man. Do tell. What's Community? Getting into some of the, because this is one of the down scenes in the film, getting into some of the numbers for this. This movie, like I said before, was made for a budget of $1.3 million. I believe it grossed just over $20 million, around $23 million. Worldwide, which is really cool. Apparently, they initially thought this was going to be a direct to VOD and then like select theater release. But the test screenings went so well that they were like, let's just release this thing theatrical. Very, very good move, in my opinion, because this thing was meant to be seen in theaters. If this movie gets released straight to VOD, I just don't have hope for the world anymore. Like, I'm thrilled that this got to a theater, personally. Let's see. I grew up with all my wife and kids. Everybody loves Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond's great. Everybody hates Chris. That's one that nobody fucking talks about. That was a great Nickelodeon show. King and Queens or King of I think you mean King of Queens. Seinfeld, That 70s Show, Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, Our Guilty Pleasure, plus Modern Family. Okay, some interesting ones in there, man. Community was fantastic, and I adore the paintball episodes. Okay, Aiden's saying that. I don't know. I will also explain why I didn't like the 80s overrated one day. Okay, cool. No, Court. Yeah, no, I missed it too. I've never seen Community. Aiden seems to like it, though. Here we have our outside sort of like tracking shots of the intruder that is about to break in, if you will, which I think this whole sequence is done just like a dream too. And I'll give you an example when the scene sort of plays out here. But I don't know if you've ever had a dream where you scream for help and no one can hear you. And it seems like you feel that there's sound coming out of you, but there isn't. I don't know how many dreams like that I've had in my life, but that's one of them that I totally have had, where I'm screaming for help and there's nobody there to help me. That happens right here in this scene. And it's just tremendous here as Micah Monroe enters the kitchen. I believe she's about to encounter it. The suspense is killing me. She's locked eyes with it. Yits, AJ. Or one yit. There's only one yit because the other one's covered. And yits and piss. Oh my God, yits and piss. Is that ever? Oh, and one sock. Where's the Tarantino fans out here with the foot fetish? This is, oh my God, and this bitch has no teeth. See, like this to me would be fucking terrifying. If I saw a fucking, 3-tooth crack whore with one sock and one yit out, I mean, I'm just like, I'm running for the fucking hills. But I like how she screams and not a lot of audio comes out. That's something that reoccurring in nightmares has happened to me. Very, very on point. Community is one of those Parks and Rec type shows. It stars a young Donald Glover. Yo, I love Donald Glover. It's underrated. Only cool people like me and Aiden know what's up. All right, King of Queens. Okay, I thought so. I was gonna say, is King and Queens a show too? I thought so. King of Queens is great. Kevin James is actually right from where I'm at, so it's cool. Like I always. I know he comes to the famous burger place by me a lot, and he'll have like 8 burgers. Like that guy is fucking. I don't know how that guy's heart's still beating. Chevy Chase is in it too. Chevy Chase and Donald Glover. That's awesome. Allison Brie was also in Community. Fantastic, beautiful woman. Awesome. AJ, you love the one yits, and you know it, man. Kenji Young too. Wow. I'm terrified. She makes the one chicken VHS amateur night look nice. Oh no, I like you. That segment is fucking great. That is like one of the scariest. Like she fucking mangles those motherfuckers. Like I remember the first time I saw that. Like I remember like just sitting up being like, "Fuck! Like what did I get myself into?" Type of deal. Really interesting lighting here in this room too. Like this like sort of dark pink lighting, really creating like almost like a Gaspar Noé like mood, like really good stuff here. I really like how this film is lit here. And Jillian Jacobs from Fear Street, the blonde. Jeez, what are you gonna do? You just keep reeling off the whole cast. Fever Dreamland's in the hazy. 8 burgers. Geez, I can only do 7. Anthony, brother, good to see your name on the graveyard here tonight. Welcome, man. Hope all is well with you. I believe it's on YouTube. Kevin James eats like 8 double doubles from fucking All American. I will be honest, the most I've ever had is 4, and I'm a big boy. I can fucking eat, man. 4 is enough. He had double what I had in like 10 minutes. Like the guy is Kevin James is a fucking monster, man. I love that dude. Amateur Night is phenomenal, and I trust Bruckner in the Hellraiser remake. I am so out of caring for remakes. Like, I don't think it's possible for me to care about one anymore. Like, and I'm sure he'll do fine, but it's just I'm not. Oh, here's the tall man. Not Jebediah Morningside from Phantasm, but the tall man in this movie. Who this guy was cool. So this guy was a local. This film was shot in Detroit, Michigan. That guy was a local like mechanic, and they saw him and were like, bro, do you want to be in a movie? And he was like, sure. And he's twin brothers, and they're both 7'7". So they casted him as the it monster for this particular scene. I thought that was really cool. We see him once again later on when they're on the beach. Really cool. Fever when it sizzles. Oh yeah. I will start naming producers from Community if it means it gets watched by one person. Yeah, no, man. I will. What's it on? Tell me what it's on. This way I can check it out. Tall Man, a truly terrifying visual. Absolutely. I was mentioning this before, Anthony, that I think the beauty and the brilliance of the psychology in this film is the perception of the different perceptions of what we perceive to be evil. We have the tall man. We have that old lady from before. In a little while, we actually have some children being depicted as it. It could be anything that scares you. And I think that's the great thing about this film. It really goes for every single thing to try to scare you. And I think it really works perfectly. And it's on D's. It's on D's. I know the rest of that, Corey. That's a little inappropriate, pal. That's a little. We're gonna put Corey. Is Corey gonna put himself in a 300-second timeout? I'm done as much as I'm planning to do tonight. As for TV, I mostly watch reruns of stuff I grew up watching, but I do like This Is Us. Very cool. I've never watched it. Here we have Micah chilling on the playground, just sort of like, I know, I got it. I got you, Corey. These nuts, I know. Hashtag banned. No, don't ban yourself. Can you ban yourself? I don't even know if that's possible. That would be funny. Corey, King Nigor has put King Nigor in 300-second timeout. The next offense, will occur this. But this is also, I was watching some interviews with David Robert Mitchell. He said that this was really a movie that came from his nightmares, where he was being stalked by this person that wouldn't say anything, but was coming at him ever so slowly. And, I think that's a really cool concept, to take a nightmare that you've had on and on and on in your life and apply it to a feature-length film here like It Follows. And he added in the sexual themes, the STM, as I call the sexually transmitted monster movie that this is, later on in post. That was a different type of horror in his life. But he kind of mixed the two together and we get It Follows. And to me, I think that's really cool. There's nothing else you could, I think, use. If you're going to use the influences of a George Romero, of a John Carpenter, and the technical style of a Tobe Hooper, lighting of a Gaspar Noé, like all of these guys that have really done it in the horror genre, these names that we all know and that are synonymous with great filmmaking, you've got to come up with your own original idea. And where else to get your great own original idea than from your own nightmares? Brilliant stuff to me. I think David Robert Mitchell's awesome. I know he made one other film. It was called Under the Silver Lake or something like that, with Andrew Garfield. I won't lie, I got about an hour in and I think I fell asleep. But I was interested, and I was just one of those nights where it wasn't the film's fault. I was just tired. So I definitely like to revisit that, because anything David Robert Mitchell does, I'd like to support. I believe that one wasn't as commercially successful as It Follows was, but it also was not horror either. But I like Andrew Garfield. But you can find it on Ligma app. Okay, very cool. Put yourself in timeout. We have these really cool, again, tracking shots of Detroit here. Really cool. I think it's an interesting setting for a horror film. I feel like there's not that many horror films that take place in Detroit, Michigan. And that's where they've shot this primarily, like I said before, to avoid the budget costs and to avoid taxes. So it's a cheap place to shoot a film. And they use the whole area, I think, pretty well, in my humble opinion. I don't know if we have anybody from Detroit who's ever been to Detroit. I will say this much. As much as I love Amateur Night, the last segment, 10/31/98 by Radio Silence, is my favorite segment in that first VHS and of the series, although Safe Haven's the best. Safe Haven's fucking great. Of the first film, the last segment I would say is the best, but the Safe Haven this is probably my favorite shot of the movie. And the most Dean Cundy shot right here is our kids. They're going into this house, and Micah Monroe sort of looks back at the camera. What a shot. I remember in the theater when I saw that, like I had like a joygasm. Like joygasm, like holy shit, like great cinematography, and I'm into the story and I want to see where this is going. Like To me, that's the best shot of this movie. Just her just slowly looking behind herself. Like, to me, that's something right out of a Dean Cundey, something that he would have shot. Really good stuff, in my opinion. And here we have the house of the guy that passed it on to our lead character. And I think it's pretty funny. Like, you see, he has all these like, porno mags and stuff, which again, I guess we can get some dirty here. We've got some people in the chat, and people raise your hands for this, right? Jerking off in porno mags. Do people do that anymore? I don't, but I want to know if people do, because like, I'm thinking that's like jerking it like a pilgrim, right? Like, let's be fucking honest here. That's some fucking old school shit. Like, I don't know. Do we have anybody here that's man enough or woman enough or whatever enough to admit this? Because I'd be curious to hear it. I want a horror where the main character trips DMT and encounters a multi-dimensional slasher killer that's able to alter timelines so the victims literally trap themselves. Corey, why don't you start writing a script right fucking now, bro? Like, you need to start writing a script. That sounds amazing, all right? Maybe we'll have Doctor Strange in it to the multi-dimensions and shit, because that would be fucking cool. We had just had a jump scare there again, which I know people would probably fucking hate, but again, I don't mind that jump scare. And we spend the whole movie not knowing what the fuck is going on. Also, I nutted in a porno mag back in the day. Phones have made us more... You nutted on page 4. Yo, see, these are the fucking questions that should come up during a live fake commentary. It wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, though, like, now, really? Like, I get it if it's like the 80s, which, okay, now we see the playpen, the dirty tissues, more playpen, which playpen I've never seen. Is playpen like, is that more 80s, 90s? Do we have any people that know porno mags over here? Because I don't know. I'm asking here. This is not something I thought was going to come up. But when you're watching a film, you're just like, all right, fuck it. Like, let me ask. Like, why not? This movie is so damn good. I do not mind a jump scare here and there. I agree with that. And I don't know. Like, to me, it's one of those things that's just like, I don't know. People just get very up in arms about it. But I don't know. For me, it doesn't bother me. Oh, more yits, AJ. Sandy's yits. Oh, boy. Nice idea, Corey, to the movie idea, not the porn mag thing. Yeah, no. Interesting. So they opened up the porn mag and found a picture of him and his high school sweetheart next to a picture of a porno person that looks like his girl. That's like, was he looking at the picture being like trying to imagine it being her? Like, fuck, man. Like, that's fucking odd. Like, but again, never said, just implied, heavily implied. Which I think is cool. And here we're going to get that classic, this 360 shot, which I think is really cool. And right when we see our lead characters, Disaster Pieces score hits, which I think this is excellent. So we're starting here. We're on an acute angle going around this whole school. I think this is a really brilliant shot here. Right as we see it with scores pumped in. Let's see. I hope not nutting on phone, Corey. You'll ruin it. Ew! Oh my God! Ew! It's crazy to think how far porn. I like how you're spelling it with a fucking 0. Like in 2006, I didn't have internet. I was gifted magazines, LO, which I messed up in hindsight. Yo, I don't know, man. That's just like too old school. Yeah, no, this is like I don't hold anything back on the fucking graveyard, man. We are open with each other. The gates are open. Y'all gotta be open with each other. It's just my opinion. But yeah, no, I don't know. I fucking think it's odd if people still do. Like, we live in it's fucking 2022. Like, to me, the only people probably still doing that are still the people that don't have email and just fax everything. Like, it's just like, fuck you. I will not comply with new technology, man. Mags forever. Like, I don't know. I bet you there are people like that out there, but I don't know. Personally, no, not my thing. The magazines, that shit's weird. It's weird now, Corey. It's weird now. I'll preface by saying, you're not wrong. It's odd. Yeah, it is odd. Now it's odd because there are options. Like, I don't know. It's just my thing. But yeah, here's to modern day jerking. If you still spank into mags, you're scrub. I think I spotted it walking towards the school. That's what's great about this movie. You stare at the background. Yes, and they do that too at the in the scenes where they're in the movie theater. If you watch closely, there's somebody like walking towards them at all times, and that's the coolest thing about this movie. That's why I think it was smart they used the wide angle lenses, because you get that whole scope of what's going on, and you could just sort of pick out if you almost pause it and go, "Oh my God, there's something like maybe that's it." I like that. Again, simple but very effective in the story that they're trying to tell here, in my opinion. Oh, Jesus Christ. No. The Flo Chambers in the house. Flo. Man, you're missing some funny ass conversations here. Fan comedy equals 40% sitcoms, 30% pornographic magazines being out of date, 10% it follows. That's 80%. What is the other 20% me? I guess the other 80%, 20% is me. I hope they made the sequel It Follows again. Yeah, no, man. I think it was in the talk for a long time, and he was down to do it, but for whatever reason, he backed out of it. So, I mean, it is what it is. Once again, this scene here with all the kids sitting around in the semicircle, I like this scene a lot. This is very, the Carpenter always discussed that, like I was saying before, either the evil out there or the evil within us. And it's usually people talking around a campfire. Here we have kids actually talking in a semicircle about the rules of it and what's going on here. I really liked this. I think this is a good exposition scene where we don't get too much of a, origin story or anything like that, or an over explanation, which would hurt it. To me, it's just the right amount, in my opinion. Let's see. LMAO King. Yeah, no. Hey, gotta say it. Masturbation is probably the safest form of sex out there. Well, I mean, for the people in this movie, they should have probably listened. My bad. I can't count. You can count 20% me. Just add 20% of me and we got 100%, right? I mean, I've got to be some sort of the percentage of this, right? You guys have to be a percentage too. So don't count yourself out. Where do you draw the line at Carpenter and Hooper films? Where do I draw the line? What do you mean? Like where do I think they both fell off? Is that what you're asking? Does the It Follows virus only transmit to living objects? Yes. I also read that if it was if you used a condom, it would still have been passed on. If it was same sex or trans sex or anything like that, it would still be passed on. So like any sort of sex, it's being passed on no matter what. That's what I read in depth from the director himself. So we now know the rules. Fair point. Fair point. But the comment, I don't know. What are you talking about? I don't know. Yeah, both fell off. Hooper probably way before Carpenter. Carpenter's probably Ghost of Mars, and then he stopped for a while. He made the Good Masters of Horror episode, and then he made The Ward, which everybody hates. Although I never hated it as much as most people. I don't like Memoirs of an Invisible Man. I don't know if Carpenter had the fall off that like a lot of them had. I would say Carpenter's probably stayed one of the most consistent. Hooper probably the 90s, somewhere in the 90s. Later 90s, I would say that's where like when you get into stuff like Crocodile and Mortuary, and that's Hooper was done at that point. It really, The Damned Thing, like that was Hooper should have stopped, I think. Gin, that's just my opinion with Hooper. But both of them had tremendous. I mean, they're both masters of horror, so I mean, it is what it is. And everybody falls off sooner or later. I mean, it's you're. I always say this: your 25th birthday is going to be a lot more fun than your 65th birthday. That's just how it is. It happens. When you're young and ambitious and hungry, there's nothing that could compare with that to me. And every single film, Romero, Argento, they all fall into that category for me. So hypothetically, if you pass the virus to a creep and the creep banged like a rhino or something, Corey, what the heck? As I was saying here, okay, trying to answer this question. I love that for a few minutes that this is the only thing visible on this. I love it. I don't even want to answer this question because I feel like I'm going to be canceled if I do. I don't fucking know, Corey, if the thing would start hunting rhinos. No rhino discrimination, by God. Nothing can stop getting old. Dario Argento is probably the most consistent in terms of those masters. Yeah, sure. I killed the stream. I'm sorry. You're okay. You froze at bangs a rhino. Yo, that is so funny. My Wi-Fi was like, John, why are you talking about banging rhinos? The stream died. I'm here. I'm here now. I think I'm here now. You just had to take it there. You did, man. My Wi-Fi just fucking took a noose and hung itself. You killed me. No. R.I.P. Grande. I can't believe it got him. It got me, bro. It walked up to me slowly. This is so embarrassing. No, it's not. No, it's not. Yo, this is so much fun. Oh, shit, he's back. LMAO. Steve Irwin just got really Yo, you're going to hell for saying that. Don't bring Steve Irwin into this. Okay, so now we're watching the movie still. They're on the beach. Okay, everybody. So no worries. Beautiful shot here. I love that. This is a beautiful looking shot. I actually would really like to. Is this in Michigan? Like, what the fuck? Like, this doesn't look like Michigan to me. I don't know. R.I.P. You know, for real, R.I.P. Okay, now we see it walking behind her slowly but surely. Very fun. Oh man, this is so intense. You should have went in the water, lady. Here it comes. I love to. Okay, it's got her hair. It's got her by the hair, by God. I love this guy just gets wrecked. He goes for a chair shot and he just gets fucking stiff armed like 40 yards. Chair shot. Oh, fucking. Yo, man, that guy got fucking stiff armed like 30 yards backwards. And my dude was over here taking a piss. What's going on, everybody? See, here it looks like her friend. It looks exactly like her friend. It can look like anything. So to me, if it looks like her friend, it's deceiving her. Like, okay, now it looks like your friend that's in the water. You turn around, you think it's her. Holy shit. Smart, very smart psychology there for me. Here comes this fucking jabroni running to the rescue. This guy, I don't know how everybody else feels about this. I totally think this guy was just trying to get his dick wet. Like, I don't think he gave a shit about this fucking situation. Oh, shot her right in the neck. Down with that bitch. Some CGI gore. Not a fan of that. I can't lie. R.I.P. Paul, LMAO. Yeah, no, well, you know, he's definitely gone through some crazy shit. When they start flinging people around on the beach, I was hyped as fuck. They pulled off the invisible. Yeah, no, totally. And they just did that here. That's the scene we're at. The tall man is trying to break into the cabin thing here, or little shack, if you will. I think how long are we in? Are we about an hour in? We're exactly an hour in. Yeah, we got about 40 minutes to go in this son bitch. But I'm having a very fun time. You're not wrong. That guy is awful, man. What guy? Wait a minute. Which guy are we talking about now? I don't know. Oh, the guy who's trying to get his dick wet. Yeah, no, I totally think he was trying to take advantage of her. I don't think he gave a shit. Like, he saw her take down the street and he's just like, yo, like that's some ass. I really do think. I don't know. He acts like he cares, but I don't think so. I think the nerdy dude gave a shit. Okay. The nerdy dude was willing to martyr himself with a pussy. Yo, martyrs, anybody? I think so too. I think he for the pussy. Here, I believe it's going to be a little kid that peeks through the peek hole here, which is really cool. Oh shit. That kid's scary looking, bro. That kid looks like a fucking anteater. No offense to that kid. He's probably grown up now. I'll beat your ass. Beautiful, like, outdoor. And now it's a little girl in a dress. It could be anything. That's beauty, man. To me, horror done perfectly. This bitch is hauling ass. She ain't waiting for nothing. She get me out of here, yo. The nerdy dude is legit good dude, and that's why I like him quite a bit. Yeah, no, I liked him too. I thought he was cool. And he's definitely, the the more sincere of the two male characters in this film. She's driving away. This guy's like, shit, she's taking my car. He's like, all of this, and this bitch took my car. No, I wouldn't have stopped too. I mean, I would be terrified. Oh, man, Red Rusty. Dang, YouTube notifications. Evening, Grande. I love this movie. Dude, I love this movie too. Cheers to you, man. I don't know what you're drinking tonight. I've got some agua, man. Cheers to you, good brother. Oh, Micah just going off the road into the cornfield. Where's the children of the corn at? Where are they at? I don't know. That was a really well done sequence, though. That whole thing on the beach. I think that's a really that's a good horror sequence to me. Again, like Corey was saying, the invisible killer thing, the whole changing it. It's the tall man, it's her friend, it's the little boy, it's the little girl, changing these things all around. Really, really, I think work. And it makes sure it keeps evolving over and over and over again. And here we see our lead in the hospital, which again, the parents are, where are the parents? Like they're there, but like they don't even care. They're not asking what's going on. You never get that scene where the parent, what's going on, honey? Like you don't get that in this film, which is, to me, very interesting. That's why Paul is my favorite. He was a nice, nerdy dude who just wanted to help his friend out and ask her out after all this blew over. Exactly. You're an apple juice addict. So that's my boring Bender. That's not boring, dude. Mott's? Are you a Mott's guy? Juicy juice? What apple juice? Tell me more. All right. I love apple juice as well. I'm a fiend for Welch's grape juice. All right. If like I had my choice in hospitals, they wouldn't give out IV fluid. They would give out Welch's grape juice in my fucking veins. All right. And it would be good for my heart. The parents are like, fuck this shit. I'm out. I think that's another thing just to annex the authority figure. Like that's why the parents are so low key in this film. That's what I think at least. But I don't know. I love this thing. I think this is a really good ass movie. I like this shot of her shaking in the bed, just waiting for it to come in. She doesn't know, which now would be the opportune time for it to get her, right? I mean, she was unconscious for a little while, but she wakes up unharmed. Pretty interesting. Part of me likes to think it was trying to butter her up for the kill. But I think here is where she realizes I've got to bang this guy that's so thirsty. This way I could pass it on and end this torment. I think that's really what she's trying to do here with this other character. Welch's grape, it's a man's juice. Yes, it is, bro. And anybody who waters it down to dilute it, you're telling yourself lies. I got hooked on Snapple Apple this summer. That's awesome. I don't know why I find it funny that it rhymes. I have the weirdest sense of humor. Are there Snapple Apple fun facts on those? Seriously, I'm sorry. I don't mean to. Why I find it funny. Jesus Christ, I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry. But yes, no, I do love Welch's. Is that the Maestro? Howdy. Yeah, no, that is the Metal Maestro right there. Dude, me too, man. Like that to me, that's like excellent. Banging in a hospital bed. Has anybody ever fucked in a hospital bed? I personally haven't. I don't know how would that shit not like when you're in the okay. About a year ago is when I was in my whole hospital battle with COVID. The nurses are in there like 24/7. Also, you have a roommate. Who gets fucked in a hospital bed? That bitch is hooked up to IVs and shit. Like, that must have been the most uncomfortable fuck. This guy was just like really thirsty, man. Like, he was thirsty for Snapple Apple. Oh my God. I can't. Yeah, I got through. I'm sorry. Can't stop laughing. I can't even read this. Yeah, I got about 15 jugs a month. Oh my God. Yo, stop. I can't. Juicy Mott's, anything I get my hand on. Dude, that's awesome. 15 jugs a month, bro. Your piss must be the same fucking color as the fucking apple juice. I don't know. I'm glad I made you laugh. I don't know why I find that shit funny, but I did. I don't know. But sometimes certain things tickle me. I'll never forget years ago, I was listening to an episode of Dead Pit, and they were talking about the Texas Chainsaw 3D movie. and it was directed by John Lucenhop. And I think one of them said, "Oh, John Lucenhop. Everybody remembers him from the Lucenhop Bop." I don't know why, but I laughed. I remember I was at work and I was just listening to it like on an earphone, and I actually had to leave my desk. I laughed so hard, like it was the stupidest joke ever. He's just like, "We're all doing the Lucenhop Bop now." I just don't know why I found this shit so funny. I wish I've never been conscious in a hospital bed. Probably been fucked though on some. What the fuck? What? You're insinuating you were raped in a hospital bed when you were unconscious? What? You know, the hospital bed can be positioned in different ways. Just saying. I do know that. They had a little remote when I went. It was, prop you up, prop you back. But like getting banged in there? Like, what the fuck? Like, getting banged in there, man. It's just like weird. Like, my man had to be thirsty. And like the next scene they show him, he's at the mall with like 5 chicks. I'm like, yo, why did you just fuck one of them? Like, what the fuck? Why are you banging this chick in a hospital bed, man? And like, at least for me, they have heart rate monitors in a hospital. So if you're hooked up to a heart rate monitor and you're getting if you're a woman and you're getting fucking railed, odds are your heart rate monitor is going to go up. This is the fucking craziest commentary of all time. But someone would come in, okay? I don't know. Who knows? That Texas Chainsaw. Do your thing, cuz. Dude, it was. I don't think it was the review. It was like before it came out, and they were talking about like, oh, apparently it's going to be directed by John Lucenhop, the famed creator of the Lucenhop Bop. And I lost my shit. Like, it's got to be a top 5 time of my life. I laughed. Like, I literally had to leave my job for a good 10 minutes just to get the laugh out. Do your thing, Fear. Toss a Chainsaw in 3D, hopefully. Texas Chainsaw 3D is one of those movies that's so fucking stupid that you sort of have to have fun with it. To me, the new movie misses what Texas Chainsaw 3D does right. It's the new 3D movie. It's like it does everything fun. I mean, Texas Chainsaw 3D is fun, stupid fun. This new movie had no fun to it. That was the problem with the most recent Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It just wasn't a fun film, in my opinion. It took itself maybe slightly too seriously. Everybody's laughing. No, this has been I don't know if I've ever laughed so much in a commentary before. This has just been like, the conversations have been all over the place. As soon as somebody brought up a rhino, this thing fucking crashed and burned. And ever since, it's burning fine. So I don't know. The new TCM film, yeah, it was a piece of shit. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Here we have our next murder sequence, though, setting up. And I think this is a really, really good one. Of course, the guy that she's passed it on to, he's chilling in his house thinking nothing of it. The whole time, he really never sees anything go crazy wrong, which was interesting to have a character that is really just sort of in this for himself, and he doesn't see anything going wrong, and he doesn't really buy any of this, so he's cool to sleep with her. And then, of course, right now, he's going to get his comeuppance. I don't like most of the sequels to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Neither do I. It never needed a sequel. Was it, though? Yes! Exclamation point. At least it was a rhino and not a hippo. I mean, what do you got against hippos? What are you trying to say, Trench? Are you trying to say that rhinos are it's better for a rhino than a hippo? What? I don't know, man. I tell me what you're trying to say here. This was cool. Okay, so it's breaking into his house. So to prove again, it's not dumb. This fucking incarnation of it from a distance looks like fucking Adam Driver, Kylo Ren himself. Probably not as big of a nose though. I love this. The disaster piece. They're doing this like heartbeat score. Very like, keeping the pace up. Very good stuff here. I love it. She goes to try to save him. She's like, oh shit. There's no saving him, honey. Trenchy, let's not start that again. The world will never know. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Tootsie Pops I love, by the way. Cherry Tootsie Pops, the best. Oh no, Trenchy, literally everybody knows rhinos are more bangable than hippos. Oh my god, y'all are fucking sick. I think he thinks it's going to be his mom here. He's like, Mom, what the fuck? Is this see? I don't know if we ever really see his mom though. So like, I don't know if this is the same actress or not. Like, but she's pretending to be the mom, banging on his door. You should have listened. Don't answer the door. Mom's yet. AJ. AJ, how have you not watched this movie, man? That's a crime. You gotta watch this fucking movie. I found this very disturbing. How this guy's killed off here. Oh my God, dry humped to death. Oh no! Ew! Yo, how the fuck? You just got dry humped to death, yo. That's fucking sick. That's some sick shit. There's no hippo emoji. That dude got fucked up. Literally. Yeah, no, he got literally like dry humped to death. That's a sick way to go. Yo, we're having too much fun in the chat tonight, dude. Fear speaking straight facts. That's a fucked up death, man. Yeah, no, that's a really disturbing death scene in my opinion. Like, because he didn't buy it and he was totally in it just to get the poo-tang. And once he did, he literally had to die for the poo-tang. So, I mean, it is what it is. But effective death scene in my humble opinion. Again, more of that score of her driving, you know, not knowing when to stop, knowing it's not safe to stop. Back in the woods. Cool stuff, man. I really enjoy this movie. I think it checks off all the boxes for me. That's one of those things about this movie that I really love. I think it's just the perfect modern horror. It does a lot of things right to me. But sleeping on the roof of the car. See, I don't know if that's the most safe thing. I would sleep with the door locked just so you could hear the thing coming in. But this scene right here. Wow. I remember when I saw this in the theater, we all just burst out laughing because they don't show you what happens here, but you insinuate that there was some crazy shit going on here. Micah Monroe is waking up on the hood of the car. The sun is shining. The birds are singing. And she sees these people on a boat. These people out to sea are on this boat. And we're about to see this here because this is this is fucking crazy. He was into the pussy, died for the pussy. Damn right, man. You are what you eat. No, he pretty much died for that pussy. I mean, let's be honest here. Micah Monroe is walking out of these sort of weed fields, and she sees this boat of young men. And they pretty much right now insinuate that she's about to be gangbanged by all these guys. See, here's a question. If you get gangbanged, by 3 people on a boat, if you get gangbanged, like I'm guessing all 3 of them have it, right? But then how does it decide who goes first? Is it the first person to climax? Is it the first person to put it in? Is it like who is the first one of these fucking 3 poor bastards that was going to go? I don't know. Thankfully I was born with a natural immunity to poontang. So this movie doesn't scare me as much as you guys. LMAO, dude, that's too funny, man. Well, hold on. We did say before, Red Rusty, I don't think you were here, this can be passed on through same-sex relations. So you're not safe yet. The only question we haven't answered is, can this be passed on to a fucking rhino? So, Red Rusty, if you're secretly a rhino and I don't know it, then you might be safe. Otherwise, I don't know, bro. If you run a train, you win the game. Oh, shit. Is that some fucking Nicki Minaj fucking... Why are you quoting? Nicki Minaj has been quoted on Grande's Graveyard, everybody. I hope I don't get fucking sued. Jesus Christ, this is just this is the most crazy. This commentary. This is like I was in charge of the asylum, and now the inmates are running the asylum. Like I've just lost control of everything. It's the first one to climax that dies first. Okay, I would think the first one to put it in because that's the first sexual contact. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. Who knows? Who knows? If we ever got the director on here, I don't know. Running a train is when multiple dudes bang one person. Yeah, but isn't that? I swear that's in a song. Like I'll let you. I don't fucking don't know. But yeah, no. That running the train like who goes first? Who would die first? Like, was it the conductor? Is it the caboose? Like, what part of the train goes first? Like, what part would get killed first? I mean, but I don't remember them showing it, so no fear to relate to. All right, well, if there's a sequel, man, let's hope they don't do that for you. I thought it was the last one to put it in. Oh, Jesus, I don't know. Need all the cars moving to get somewhere. Yo, oh my God. It's in my song. Whoever busts last loses. Yo, what? If you bust it all, you're dead in this movie. Hey, I guess if follows could pass it on to the LGBT community. Yes, as well as no one's safe in this movie except maybe rhinos and elephants. Well, we all know rhinos are okay. Wait, would the rhino realize he has to pass it on and he would pass it to his own kind and try to give it back? Yo, I don't know. Yo, this is like, what has happened tonight, man? We're talking about rhino fucking on the graveyard, yo. Like, I don't know. We've got, how much longer do we have in this movie? We got like 20 minutes left of fun here. So let's get it all out. Jesus Christ, I don't know. This is, I hope YouTube is like, this is just made for kids. No, this is not made for kids, man. This is just crazy. Here we have our two leads. They're sort of coming together now. Like, he's saying, like, listen, like, let me fuck you. he's like, let me fuck you and we'll figure it out from there, you know. But she's sort of hesitant because she just got ganged. She just had the train run on her. She just had the train run on her by these three fucking strangers in a boat. Could you imagine, like, you're just on a boat with your boys and this bitch in a fucking arm cache just swims up to you and is like, let's go. Like, I don't know, man. Oh no, the Wi-Fi not looking good again. Who knows? How would the rhino or elephant get the disease? Who's going to the zoo doing that? Is it you, Trench? I don't know. Who the fuck knows at this point, man? I have no idea. I'm just hoping Wi-Fi doesn't get the disease for the next 20 minutes, man. That's my hope. My fingers are fucking crossed. Oh my God, look at all of you talking. Nope. All right, I'm not going to click on the comments anymore. This is just getting too fucked up. Nope. So the serious question is, who's gonna, you know, with old Bessie here? I know she ain't too pretty. She makes up for it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is right up some euphemism, my rather innocent mind? No. It's not even no. Like, oh geez, Red Rusty wasn't here. Could somebody explain Red Rusty what's going on? Because I feel ridiculous if I have to do it. Here we have, this is setting up for the final, the climax of the film, like the third act, which I think is a tremendous third act. I'm excited to get into it. Our characters are going away in the car, and we see this naked man. So Red Rusty, a naked man, is on the roof, which I'm sure, you know, even though I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You say you like this movie. Okay, I forget. For a minute, I'm like, some people haven't seen this. So I don't want to spoil anything. But, you know, right up your alley. Naked man on the roof. I believe in the trailer they had to edit it and like put shorts on him because they were like, oh no, you know, this is bad or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. But in the movie, you do see that guy needs a pair of scissors. We'll put it to you that way. Mow that lawn, brother. That's just bad. Okay. That's some 70s shit right there, man. This is fucking sideburns on that motherfucker. Yes, I freeze framed it. Yo, man, but let's be honest. Does that son of a bitch need some scissors or what? I think he needs to shave a little bit. I asked hypothetically, could one beat the monster in It Follows by making it with a rhino? And here we are. That's true. That's pretty much what that dude just let it all hang out. Yeah, no, he's letting the birds peek out of the forest. I love this little monologue about nothing right before the third act, and we get this great score here. I can turn it up a little bit. I love this score. I want to turn this up a little bit. Only play it for a little bit because I don't want to copyright. Oh man, it's so good. Oh man, see that to me is just such a good horror movie score. Like I remember when I was in the cinema, I was like, wow, like I'm so into this. Like, and I remember we were just all having a good time at the movie theater. That's like that particular part of this movie, that score, tremendous. I just love it. Trench, you better not get this monster coming after me. Let's hope not. I'm not. I don't partake, so I'm safe. Okay. Oh no, dude, this has become like sexual education class with me as the fucking professor. Cool idea for a finale here. A gym, like a pool gym, and similar vein to movies like David Cronenberg's Shivers, which that, if you haven't seen it, that has a whole finale in the swimming pool where all these things are like being sexually passed on. I like to think this movie took inspiration from that, although he's never cited it. This to me is like very similar to Shivers in that vein. But I really like that whole setup. That score gives me chills. Dude, me too, man. That score to me is the best score in horror of the past 20 years. Like, I love that score. The music is crazy. Dude, absolutely. That music is tremendous. Like, Disaster Piece did a wonderful job. And to me, going from video games to horror, tough, interesting transition, but the guy did it flawlessly, in my opinion. Laughing goat. I don't know if you're calling me the goat. I appreciate it if you are. Yes, he could use a 15-minute nair. Oh my god, ew. Or a weed whacker. Ew, a weed whacker? That'd be fucking dangerous. No telling what's hiding in that forest. I don't go hunting for oh my god, ew. Annihilation composer ripped off It Follows big time. Annihilation was slightly overrated to me. I like Natalie Portman, but Jesus, I don't know. It's a little overrated. Not as good as this. Nowhere near as good as this, in my opinion. No diving. I thought this was a cool idea, too, that they wanted to electrocute it. I thought that was an interesting sort of idea that they wanted to have here, to just electrocute the thing. Granted, that all goes to hell. That doesn't really work. The thing starts fucking throwing televisions at her fucking head. Good friends, though, to fucking... And this is, I think it was a really good plan, because if you're in the pool and in the center of a deep pool, it's like, and it's moving slowly, it has to find a way to get to you. So it's tough. You're making it a very tough situation for the thing to get you. And I think that was a really good idea to sort of try trump the bad guy, if you will. Mow that forest down, baby. Dude, yeah, no. The weed whacker in that area, man, that could be quite dangerous. I don't think so. I don't think about that. That's some scary shit to imagine, because that could end very badly. Even if you got rid of the forest, you could get rid of the whole fucking, the whole species inside the forest. And we all don't want to see that happen. At least I don't know. I don't want to. Cool underwater shot here. Again, that chlorine filter kind of coming to best. CGI rain here. I wish you hadn't, but on a budget of $1.3 million, I guess we can excuse it, right? That's some poor CGI rain, I'll be honest. But again, trying to create that mood, I guess. I just think this whole ending's iconic. Like, I love this finale. It's very intense. Looking around for it, waiting. Under the sea, into the pool. This bitch is still on her seashell cell phone. Like, I don't know anybody that has one of those either. Like the seashell cell phone. Like, that's like completely, I've never seen that, to be honest. The CGI passed because the rest is so good, man. Yeah. Dude tip, keep your hedges low, makes your fence post look a lot taller. Just saying. Wow. Just 1.3 million. Wow, so poor. Oh, jeez. No, I'm saying, like, they didn't have a lot of money to show, real. I guess it wasn't really raining, so I mean, it is what it is. That's like the only thing in this movie that doesn't look good, though. Like this, if you like the fact this was made for 1.3 million, like, it's astounding, man. The cinematography is just incredible. Mateo, you haven't said anything in a while. Granny, it's been a pleasure as always working early. Ciao, everyone. Mateo, I didn't even know you were here this whole time. I thought you had left earlier. Man, cheers to you. Have fun at work, and stay away from the rhinos, pal. And the weed whackers. Okay, Mateo, stay away from the weed whackers, my friend. I don't know how. Imagine if he's been listening, like driving to work the whole time, listening to this. Like, he's probably like, "What the fuck?" Imagine like he's in a car with his family. Like, shit, don't listen, kids. Grande's on crack. I'm not really, though. What's that, money? Yeah, money. Gotta have that money. She's now pointing it out to them, like, okay, it's over here. And we don't see it. I like that they also play with that, too, like that we sometimes we see it, sometimes we don't. He's probably already called the cops. Mateo would not call the cops on me, okay? Mateo is good people, all right? He's a Canadian brother for life. It's funny. I think Mateo's from Italy, but living in Canada. So he's the Italian Canadian, bro. He's like one of a kind, man. We love Mateo here on the Graveyard. This thing just throwing chairs at her. Oh my God, hit her right in the fucking face. CTE, bro. TVs. We need a Were Rhino horror movie directed by the guy who did Friday 13 Part 5. If Danny Steinman was still alive, absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah, no, I hope the police don't come for me. This chat has been wild and legendary. Oh my God. This. I don't think there's ever been a week where the chat was crazier than this. This is like, I don't even know what I would have taught. Like, it started off like the first 40 minutes, I was just talking about the film. Then it just like, I don't know what started. I think the whole magazine discussion just fucking completely took this thing off the rails. This chat was culture shock. I was watching a tame spaghetti western, then walked into this chat. LMAO, yeah, no, spaghetti western's got nothing in the Graveyard tonight. This guy's got a gun. Janie's got a gun. What made Janie snap? Was he tired of this bitch's crap? Smart here to try to get the sheet to see it. She's trying to throw the sheet on it. Really cool. I see cool trope, like cool invisible trope. Oh, now you got to see it. Right to the head. Bam! Pool bump. Very cool. But it keeps swimming for her. Very intense. This is a very well done finale. It's got her by the leg. He's got to take the Han Solo shot to save Lando Calrissian. Oh, my Wi-Fi's bugging out again. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with us. This is almost over, I promise. We got like 10 minutes left. Bam! Bitch went down. Sid, super bitch. Oh, right in the head. There we go. There we go. Micah Monroe swims to the fucking safety. This is definitely one of the best shots in the movie too, as she sort of crawls back to see the aftermath. We get this beautiful mix of red and blue to make this sort of like purple-esque color. It's beautiful. We're about to see that right here. That hasn't happened yet. She's taking a look at the aftermath. It grabbed her leg. Her friends kicked some ass, though, for her. I love this as she sort of crawls slowly but surely to see what's going on. It's incredible. It's really, really well done. Very scary. Very effective. Building good tension here. I thought it was going to be like a crazy, like pull her in like Jason style, but I thought it was smart they didn't do that here. Really cool shot. See, we see the start of this blue, and then we'll slowly start to see the blood disperse more and more and more. Very cool. Almost like a painting, as this like all this blood blotches the screen. Really cool shot here. This is CGI done right here. Wow, like very trippy. Almost looks like tulips. Really good stuff. Cut scene. I think that's a fantastic scene. No one is getting my blood. Haha. You're like the fourth person that wants it. Really? Why does everybody want your blood? Are you a vampire? My favorite shot of the film. It's up there. For me, it's the shot of the house when she looks back at the camera, but that's got to be number 2. That's the second best shot of the film. Trench has a gun. Everybody run. Uh-oh, somebody called the cop on him. Those are great friends, man. Oh, go golf clap. Totally. Pool scene is so intense. That's to me, one of the great finales in horror history. I love that finale. Hands down my favorite shot of the film. It's a beautiful shot. Like second best pool kill First is pool kills in Let the Right One In. Oh man, when Let the Right One In, that movie comes to its climax in the pool scene, and you see the body drop in the water, you fucking get up and cheer. It's like one of the best moments in film history. I love it. That's a great movie, Let the Right One In. That's one I always really wanted to cover on the Graveyard. Maybe one day down the road we'll do a vampire episode and cover that one. I pre-ordered the Trenchy Blood set with a limited edition slipcover months ago. Does that come with the barf bag and the Trenchy impersonation? I don't know. I don't know, Grande. Something about bringing a puppet alive. It's complicated. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you want to give me a little bit more info on that, who knows? I love Trenchy. Trenchy has an interesting voice. I love. I forget what stream he was on, but he was talking about my stream of Teen Titans. He was like, "Man, Grande is cool as shit, man. He's talking about Teen Titans and shit." I was like, Trench. I love his I don't even know what if it's an accent or just the way he talks. Trench has a fun voice. Let the Right One In is the shit, man. It's a wonderful film. Totally agree. Let the Right One In is awesome. Thought the same thing. Honestly, I can't lie. That never dawned on me. I never connected those two movies, but that's totally a great comparison. I agree with that. We see now Micah has now passed it on to this guy, and he will probably have to start banging some hookers on the side while he's seeing his lady in order to avoid it himself, which is going to very much start the rapid decline of hookers being killed in the area, which I guess would probably start to alert people. Granted, we never get that far. They show this shot of him driving past these two hookers. These two hookers right here, these are two hookers you'd see in fucking Atlantic City. Oh my God, ew, what the fuck, man? You have to pay them. That's an ugly fucking hooker right there, man. That's like a hooker you see in Atlantic City, hiding under the fucking boardwalk, and you gotta knock on the fucking thing and say the troll's password. You have to be thanks, dude. You got it, man. Master of Fear, I highly recommend Let the Right One In. Totally amazing movie. Totally. Let the Right One In. American version has the dude from Scream 5. I didn't see Scream 5. But yeah, Let Me In was that one. Okay, here you go. What's everybody's thoughts on Let Me In? Inferior, unnecessary, not terrible, but inferior. Let the Right One In's the way to go. Paul's got to do what he's got to do, man. Yo, I don't fucking know, man. That's I don't fucking know. I love Let Me In, but it doesn't match the original, but I still love it. I haven't seen it, Aiden, only the original. The perfect vampire movie. I agree. It is. A lot of people don't mention this one too. There's a movie called Thirst that came around 2009. That's another really, really good vampire movie that nobody discusses. I have that. I would like to discuss that one because it's very little talked about. As here we are closing in on our final shot of the film. Our two leads finally happily together, walking off into the sunset, holding hands. It's the picture perfect sunset, but you see there's somebody behind them. It follows. It's still following them, and it will until it gets them. Very cool. To me, a great final shot in horror history here. I love this final shot. I remember getting chills in the theater, getting chills right now talking about watching it with you guys at the same time. To me, an iconic final shot that it's still after them. Great stuff. It follows. Golf clap. It has just ended. To me, a 10 out of 10 horror movie, in my opinion, man. Let's talk Thirst sometime. All right. Okay. We can do that. But it follows. It does. Thirst and Let the Right One In. You're saying you want to come on? Do a show? We can do that. We can do vampire double feature, man. Let Me In. I saw first, and I saw the original, which was a masterpiece. American film was pretty good. Or is it? I don't know. But that is It Follows. I have the movie just ended. Yeah, Thirst is awesome. I have the Blu-ray of that. That's a fucking really underrated movie. I really like it. 10 out of 10, a bloody masterpiece. I agree with you, Mr. Vabra. I think it is a bloody masterpiece too. It was fun to watch along with you guys. It felt like you guys were in the room with me the whole time. The way the chat was so lively and stuff. The first 40 minutes, I was pretty much going off. I was, covered every base that I wanted to cover. And then when we started getting into the craziness and insanity, the last hour of this, it was just super fun. Or is it still following them? It is still following them, brother. It will always follow until it gets what it wants. I mean, that is what it is. But yeah, no, we went about, wow, exactly an hour, 45 minutes. I'll dress up as Blackula. Oh, shit. I mean, hey, if you want, it's been a while since you've been on the Graveyard Quarry. If you want to plan something, man, we'll be in touch for sure. I know we talk a lot. So we could plan something for down the road. Trench is coming on soon. Not next week, but the following week for Pet Cemetery. So I'm super excited about that. A little vamp indie one, not many talk about, called Midnight Sun. Check it out. All right. Mr. Red Rusty 66 throwing out the recommendations. Always appreciate that, my friend. But I think we're going to wrap this up here. We went an hour 45. We watched my favorite horror movie the last 20 years, It Follows. Had a great time laughing and talking all things It Follows with you guys. Always a fun time here on the Graveyard. I had a great time with y'all. Miss C says, haven't heard of Thirst. I'll have to see it if I can find it. Totally. Corey as Blackula would be awesome. Cannot wait for the episode with Trenchy. Go. Yes, I can't wait either. See you next time. And Devin, thank you so much for watching. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. This was a very fun show. This is one of the shows where I end and it's like, that's why I love doing Grande's Graveyard. Just the laughs, the good times, the camaraderie. It's all fun. So I love it. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay beautiful, keep it creepy, and we will catch you next time only on the Graveyard. Too sweet, peace, and we'll catch you next time.